For item 33, we have three speakers. The first is Mark Mordew of Ashfield.
Okay, great. Thank you for having me. I've been an Inner West resident for 20 plus years solid, 40 years if you count some of my youthful meanderings between here and the inner city. I'm speaking in support of the motion to support food relief programs and anti-poverty for Inner West organisations. In particular, that's related to the fact I've been working at Addison Road Community Organisation for about the last 5 years. I was their media and comms guy. More recently, I've been freelancing for them and put together the Addi Road Riders Festival as the artistic director. So I'm pretty well planted in the neighbourhood and in what's going on as a resident and as a person working professionally as a writer and a journalist in the arts community. And I have to say that I've never seen things so bad. I mean, I'm sure some of you remember the ideals that were happening coming out of COVID, that we're all going to be nice and love one another more and value community, and it hasn't really turned out like that. Clearly, we're hearing it over and over and over tonight, that real estate greed and rampant rental pressures having a huge impact on individuals like me, on families and on small businesses alike. It's a cancer, and it's a cancer on our ability to function, and it's devouring any chance to get ahead. So that's the problem. How do we solve the problem? God knows. I mean, personally, almost all my wages go on rent. Most people I know are in the same boat. I mean, there used to be talk of people being 3 or 4 wages away from the street. I think there's an awful lot of people out there in the Inner West now that are just 1 pay packet from the street if they miss a beat with their rent. That is something to be really worried about, and 1 tilt is going to do a lot of people in. Rosanna Barbero, who's the CEO at Addi Road, talks about the new poor. By that she means a kind of collapsing middle class who are joining in with low socioeconomic sort of groups and people that have been perpetually battling and possibly always will. All of this sort of impacts around food relief and anti-poverty work, the work that Addi Road has been doing relentlessly for quite a long time now, since the COVID sort of period and on. We have about 300 people a day coming through the food pantries in Marrickville and Camperdown. More and more are getting hampers as well. Why the charities are having to fill the gap is a whole other question. But what happens with food relief is that it just allows all those people, which are a hell of a lot of people in the Inner West, hanging by a thread to keep going, to sustain themselves and to maybe make it through what is a very difficult patch of time and what I don't see changing, but in fact getting tougher and tougher. So I really urge you to support this motion, because I believe the work Addi Road is doing, the work that Reverend Bill Cruz is doing, and all the organisations they support as an ecology of support is necessary to sort of make it past the time that we're in right now. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. I'll just note that Councillor Shetty has just arrived in person. For the record, our next speaker is Omar El-Rayes.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Omar El-Rayes. I live up the road with my sister in Ashfield, so local Inner West resident. I'm here to speak on item 33, the notion around supporting Inner West organisations with anti-poverty and food relief programs. I'd like to reference the crucial role and support and the funding for organisations such as Addison Road require. Organisations like Addison Road on the surface may look like a place where food and drinks are offered at no or little price. Some may see it as even a place to hold events or take their kids to karate or so forth and participate in social activities. The organisation provides more than just previously mentioned. let me not leave you mistaken that this is a place for handouts and freebies. Addison Road and such organisations offer a fundamental human need, and that's giving back dignity. Back to those who have been displaced, those in this room who know many stories of community members who have been in this situation. But support is not for material possessions. It's to empower people with their dignity. These centres allow folks to have clothes that don't stand out for reasons that we don't want. Eat food that we see on billboards on the way to work. Receive medical services that we take for granted. These centres need your support, they need your funding, they need you to empower them, they need your community spirit. These organisations, especially in a time like now, when we're all just one paycheck from lining up as well. The assistance that we can provide within funding and community support is one that we can't hold out on. This is an opportunity to support your people, support your neighbours, support your colleagues, your friends, and support yourself from not being in a tough situation too. Thank you very much for giving me the time.
Thanks, Omar. Next, we have Robin White of Erskineville.
Good evening. My name is Robin White and I'm a volunteer at the food pantry in Marrickville and Addi Road. There's about 300 of us who are there 5 to 6 days a week helping with various things that we do. I've been there for 5 years and really appreciate the chance to speak to you because what they do at the food pantry is amazing. Thank you. The people who attend the food pantry are a very diverse group of people from all cultures, single parents, families, share households, people living in boarding houses, people living in their cars, people living with mental health issues, people living with disabilities, some brought by their carers. The number of people who attend the food pantry has increased dramatically over the past 12 months. The pantry opens at 12 o'clock every day, Monday to Friday. At 11 a.m. there are at least 20, if not 30 people outside waiting to come in. Every week people comment to me and the other volunteers how grateful they are that the pantry exists, providing low-cost pantry items and free fruit and vegetables and bread. We have had regulars in tears who originally came because of the sustainability ethos of the food pantry, where originally it not only was saving stuff from going to landfill. They're now coming because the mortgage has gone up $600, the rent's gone up $200 a week, electricity's gone up. They now find themselves relying on the food pantry for food. Mention might have been made before, I'm not sure, about the vouchers that food pantry provide to people who have no money at all. It's a nominal amount, it's $10. It buys you enough to get by. 12 months ago, on a Thursday evening, we might get 8 or 9. Now it's 35 to 40 every day. That's $400 a day. People need money. As you can imagine, it takes a lot for some people to ask for a voucher or to say they need help, because these are the people, the new poor, if you like, who have not had to do this before. So we hope we give them some dignity when we do it. And I can only say that any help that eases the burden on the Addi Road food pantry and the people of the Inner West would be gratefully received and put to very good use. Thank you.